really interesting topic because, at least for me personally, when I saw the slides for the first time for this topic, I had really something like a flashback to 1997 when I was on the road as an SD consultant, and I implemented for the first time what you will later see on Bernd slides as the classic or the current ECC version of the solution. And I thought, from a consultant role, really nice. You can implement it rather fast and be done with it. But of course, I also saw what kind of exercises the customer had to do to really have a complete process coverage and what steps he needed in addition besides the system. And that, well, wasn't my problem at the time, but now here we are and we have a better solution for that. And that is great. One more sentence about what kind of animal is this? Is this something that you can kind of quick shot like implement, just 3 days of consulting and then implement and you're the hero? No, it isn't. And that is, on the other hand, what makes it interesting, because we are talking about complex process chains. You're going to see that. Bernd is also going to introduce you to a new tool that we are positioning, that we are delivering, the value chain monitoring tool, which has a lot of potential going forward, a lot of future potential into giving our customers value chain transparency. Customers with complex supply chains acquiring or probably producing materials in various kinds of the world, and having a quantity and also value-based insights into that is not easy to accomplish, and that is what we are now with Advanced Intercompany Sales delivering the first step into. And with that, enough said, I'm handing over to you, Bernd. Off you go.
Yeah, thank you. And many thanks for the nice introduction, also to having me here. So my name is Bernd Strecker. I'm the product manager for Advanced Intercompany Sales. And today I provide a nice overview on the new process. So let me share my screen. Good. So now you should be able to see my screen. Yeah, good.
Yes.
So this is the agenda I have prepared for today. First, I will give an overview, brief overview, what is Intercompany Sales about and what is our classic solution being in place in 30 years, being implemented by Michael, 30 years ago, and what is our new advanced version that is available since SAP S/4HANA 2022. Very briefly also what have changed for the intercompany stock transfer process, and then also some words, what is our value chain monitoring framework. This is the orchestration tool to orchestrate this relative complex intercompany sales process. What are the current features? What do we support? What are planned features for the future? Some time for Q&A, and I also have prepared a brief system demo. So with this, I will start going into the overview, what is Intercompany Sales about? Intercompany Sales, you have always one group having two affiliates, so at least two affiliates. So for example, you have a selling company in Germany, and the goods are delivered from the US affiliate in US. So the process starts with a sales order in Germany, and this sales order in Germany wants to have the goods delivered directly from the US plant. So the sales order 2 has a delivering plan, US plant can execute an ATP check and so on. So it's directly integrated into the plant in US. As a next step, the goods, of course, they need to be picked, packed, and also shipped, and therefore outbound delivery is created. The goods then are, after goods issue, are posted into COGS directly, or first in evaluated stock in transit, and then in the second step moved out of the evaluated stock in transit. Then we need to have a customer invoice in Germany from the German affiliate to the German customer. And as a second step, we have an intercompany invoice in US towards the German affiliate. So it's an intra-company intercompany invoice. Good. In order to have a document also for the COGS in the selling company in Germany, the system creates automatically accounts payable document. What you can see is this process is rather slim. It's fast. It's not too complex, but of course there's also some downside. So there's no purchase order in place. Germany is buying goods from the US affiliate, 10 million value, no purchase order. Auditors, they don't like. There's no supplier invoice in place. Also here, of course, auditors, they don't like it. Not having a purchase order, not having a supplier invoice. Of course, product costing is much more complex. Landed costs integration into product costing is much more complex. In the end, you are outside of your normal standard processes if you run procure to stock. Yeah. In the selling company, though the goods are owned by the German affiliate, when they're shipped from New York to Hamburg, you won't find any valuated stock in transit that is assigned to the German plant. Yeah? And so there's no goods receipt, no goods issue. If you use material ledger postings, and then also here no material ledger postings for the selling company. We only have one sales order in place in Germany, and therefore don't have a sales order in US, and everything that is based on KPIs that are based on sales orders is difficult to handle as there is no sales order in US. Good. So this is our classic solution in place since 30 years, slim, fast, flexible, but as you have seen, a lot of downside. And therefore, and last but not least, we use still IDOC to create the accounts payable document, outdated technology. And therefore, we have decided to create a new solution where the gaps are closed. It still starts with a sales order in Germany. And what is important, the sales order still wants to deliver the goods directly from US, and therefore the delivering plant in the sales order too is still the plant in US. Yeah. And if there is picking and packing necessary and shipping, then an outbound delivery is created for the US plant with direct reference to the sales order 2. So it's still a sell from stock scenario where sales order 2 in Germany has direct access to the plant in US. It's doing material reservation, ATP checks, and so on. Yeah. What is missing? Yeah, we need additionally the commercial side, the commercial chain, yeah, from Germany to US. So we need a purchase order, yeah, that buys the good from the US plant, and we need to have in the US a sales order that sells the good to the German affiliate. These two documents, they are automatically created by the system in background. Yeah? So this is nothing that is done by a user. This is where our new orchestration is taking care for. We have now 2 sales orders in place. Yeah? One is the German sales order, and the second one is the sales order in US. Now the question is, which sales order does what? Because we can't execute 2 times an ATP check. Yeah? If product compliance is running, in which sales order takes care for the product compliance check, transportation, and so on and so on. And here clear statement, sales order 2. Yeah? So the sales order in Germany is the main leading object for logistical integration. So sales order 2 will execute an ATP check. Sales order 2 will call a trade compliance check. Yeah, so if there are export licenses necessary that are owned by the delivering company in US, yeah, sales order 2 will already check this trade compliance export licenses. Same applies for product compliance. Yeah, if you have dangerous goods check, this will be checked end-to-end already in sales order 2. And if there is a dangerous goods check necessary for the US company code, you get the result already in sales order 2. Same applies for transportation management. Good. In order to establish a valuated stock in transit that belongs to the selling company in Germany, we have established a new field in sales order item level being called transit plant. And this field is used to have a goods receipt, yeah, where then the stock belongs to the selling company, and we have a goods issue, yeah, from this transit plant. It's an additional field in sales order 2 item. The outbound delivery is still created with reference to the sales order 2 in Germany. Yeah? If the goods issue is done, and then there is a goods movement from the physical stock storage location always to valuated stock in transit that belongs to the plant in US. Yeah. There is a dotted line from sales order 4 to the outbound delivery 5 because FI data is still copied from the sales order 4 to the outbound delivery 5 as the goods movement that belongs to the delivery belongs to the US plant. Yeah. And this posting 6 is not optional. It's always the case. It goes from the storage location to the valuated stock in transit. after the goods are transferred from the delivering company to the selling company, based on Incoterms. Yeah, it could be, for example, the New York harbor, or could also be the Hamburg harbor. Yeah, then the goods movement 7A and 7B are triggered all by the system automatically. To have this automatically done, we have established new fields in the outbound delivery header. Yeah, these are the transfer of control dates. We have an internal transfer of control date that is being used for the goods movement from the delivering company to the selling company. And we have an external transfer of control date, and this is used for the next posting. And this is from the selling company towards the customer. As said, these are new fields in the outbound delivery, and these fields are used to post the goods movements automatically by the system, by our new orchestration. So it's that 7A, 7B, and 8 are done by the system automatically. Yeah. After the goods are shipped, or after the goods has been shipped, so after posting 6, the invoicing can be done, be it first the intercompany invoice in the delivering company that then automatically triggers the intercompany supplier invoice in the selling company, or the customer invoice C in Germany towards the external customer. There's no sequence, so first the customer invoice can be created or the intercompany invoice. Yeah, there is no fixed sequence. The posting 7A and 8, they will post the COGS, so the cost of goods sold, and they, depending on your system settings, they also can be used to trigger revenue recognition. Yeah? So if your system supports event-based revenue recognition, 7A can post COGS and revenue in parallel. Good. Sales order 2, the external sales order in Germany, can be a combination of everything. Yeah? So it can combine sell from stock, classic intercompany sales, or advanced intercompany sales items. Yeah? So it's not an exclusive thing. Everything that you see here on item level, on header level, in reality is controlled on item level. Sales order 2, you can still change the plant as long the outbound delivery has not been created. Yeah? So for example, after a while you get aware that US has some issues with the availability of the product, and then you can change the delivering plant to a Canadian plant, and then the purchase order, the existing purchase order, will be flagged for deletion. The sales order 4 will be rejected, and a new purchase order towards the Canadian company will be created, and in Canada there will be a new sales order created towards Germany. It's all done automatically in the background, and if there's any issue with this replication of the data, and then it's not possible to create the outbound delivery 5, because sales order 4 needs to be properly there, in order to create the outbound delivery. Sales order 4 provides the FI data, and if there was any issue with replication of the data, and then of course it's not allowed to create the outbound delivery. Good. Generally, our new advanced intercompany sales process is seamless integrated, as already said, be it from product compliance perspective, trade compliance perspective, transportation management. It's seamless. This means, for example, the transport will be partially done by the delivering company in US, or will be partially done by the selling organization in Germany. The freight cost will automatically be posted to the right company code depending on the Incoterms. Revenue recognition is directly integrated, profitability reporting, product costing, group reporting, consolidation. So the intercompany revenues, they will be eliminated automatically by the system. Also very important, the next point is that the changes in the sales order are automatically copied to the other documents. We have a valuated stock in transit, and there's a seamless change. So the system takes care that not both companies in parallel can have valuated stock in transit for the same item. By having the purchase order in place, we enable landed cost and product costing. And what I will show later is this nice end-to-end monitor that can be used to have a nice overview. That's already important. So you can see the sales order, purchase order, all the goods movements, supplier invoice. But this monitor can also be used for issue detection. Yeah? So for example, the system can't create the purchase order automatically in the background as material master is missing, yeah? Or purchasing info record is missing, price is missing. Yeah? So there are several reasons. Yeah? It could even a customer message, yeah? Error message that doesn't allow the system to automatically create the purchase order. And this issue will be captured by our monitor, and then you can easily see what was the issue during the purchase order creation. You can do the right measures, and then the posting of the purchase order can be done manually or even by a job in the background being scheduled for every 4 hours. Yeah. Good. We have established this new field, transfer of control dates. Yeah? These fields, they are available in the delivery header. And as said, they are available for the internal transfer of control and the external transfer of control for advanced intercompany sales. In order to have more flexibility, they are available in a blend version and in an actual version. Yeah? And in the moment when the actual transfer of control date is in the past, and then immediately the system will do the necessary inventory management postings. And these inventory management postings, they can be used for cost of goods sold postings and revenue recognition postings. Yeah, this is important for your month-end closing, that based on the transfer of control date, yeah, the system automatically will do the necessary COGS and revenue recognition. We have a tight integration with transportation management. Yeah? Currently, it's available only in the public cloud, but our plan is to have it also with our next feature, pack delivery, in early next year, also on-prem available. TM will calculate the transfer of control dates based on the internal and external transfer of control dates. Yeah? And then TM will write the result back to the outbound delivery, and the outbound delivery then really can execute the necessary inventory management postings. Yeah? What does this mean in reality? Yeah? So if you have now the transport from Chicago to Hamburg, and based on the Incoterms, yeah, TM knows that the transfer of control between the delivering company and the selling company is New York. Yeah? So first, TM can write to the outbound delivery the plan. The planned transfer of control date for the intercompany business is next Monday. Yeah. So this is the first information the outbound delivery can receive. Then transportation management will get from the real world, yeah, an event. The container has been loaded from the truck to the ship in New York Harbor. TM will use this information now to state clearly, okay, the actual transfer of control has happened. And therefore, TM will write the actual transfer of control date to the outbound delivery. And as this is the real world, it's in the past, yeah, so it has already happened. And then the outbound delivery will automatically trigger the goods movement from the valuated stock in transit belonging to the US to the transit plant that belongs to the selling company in Germany. And it's not only a COGS posting, it also, based on your system settings, can post the revenue recognition. Yeah? So the system does an invoice simulation in the background and takes the result and will do the revenue recognition postings automatically in the background. And this transfer of control date is not only used for advanced intercompany sales, it's also used for advanced intercompany stock transfer and a new version of sell from stock with valuated stock in transit. Good. This is Outlook Labs preview. We know that in many cases, customers have a more complex scenario. Germany is still delivering the goods, so from US directly to the customer. But Germany will buy the goods from an intermediate, yeah, being located, for example, in the country of the headquarter or other countries where it makes sense. Yeah, so Germany is not buying the goods directly from US. They will go via 1 or 2 or 3 intermediates. Yeah, so it could be that Germany is buying from France and France is buying directly from US. Or it could also be a scenario, Germany from France, France from Canada, and Canada from US. We call it multi-level. This is our blend also to deliver this version. Currently, it's not there. The concept stays the same. Sales order 2 will have the US plant as a delivering plant. It will have direct access to the ATP quantities and will trigger directly the outbound delivery. And in the background, this commercial chain will be started. Yeah, so purchase order, sales order, purchase order, sales order, until the sales order in US is being created. And of course, the same applies then for the transit plant. So we have one goods movement from the valuated stock in US to France, to the next, and to the transit plant in Germany. Good. Very briefly, also to intercompany stock transfer process. This is the classic intercompany stock transfer process that is available in SAP S4HANA since long time, R3. And this is now the version where both company codes have valuated stock in transit in place. And to move the goods from the valuated stock in transit in US to Germany, we use the proof of delivery functionality. Yeah, this is some kind of artificially, because the POD for sure won't be done somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Good. And therefore, we have decided we establish also a new version of intercompany stock transfer, also called Advanced Intercompany. It's also based on our new orchestration. We establish a sales order in the delivering company. That sales order was missing in the old classic version. And the goods movement 7A, 7B are triggered by our new orchestration, also based then on the internal transfer of control date. Yeah. Purchase order 3 is executing an ATP check, so there is direct feedback if the quantities are available in the delivering plant or not. What we have planned multi-level for intercompany sales also applies for intercompany stock transfer. So partially the goods are not directly bought then from US, goods are bought from France. And then, of course, we also need additional sales orders, purchase orders, and additional transit plant postings for the intermediate in France. The principle more or less stays the same. Yeah. So the sales order in the intermediate and purchase order in the immediate company, they are only used for a commercial reason and FI reasons and not for logistical integration. So how do we monitor this very complex process? Yeah, and we have decided very early in our project, yeah, that this can't be covered by the business application itself. Yeah, what does this mean? This external sales order should not take care that the purchase order is created, and the purchase order should not take care that the sales order is created, and the outbound delivery should not take care that all the good movements have been done. Yeah, it's too much complexity, and it's too much. It's not enough orchestration. Yeah? And therefore, we have decided that we create a new generic framework that is designed to run and to monitor very complex business end-to-end processes. Yeah? It's a generic framework, and therefore, by custom or by settings, yeah, we define a process like advanced intercompany sales or advanced intercompany stock transfer or sell from stock with faucet. And this design is then the basis for the execution of the end-to-end process. Yeah. It's a generic framework, and it's primarily used in the moment only for SAP standard processes. Yeah. So you can't use it for customer processes. You even can't enhance our standard processes. Yeah. So it's fixed. What has been designed and implemented by us, yeah, is this what we deliver, and there is no customizing or settings allowed by customers. Of course, by Nice Monitor, you have a much better end-to-end process visibility, improving your efficiency and improving also your collaboration. As already mentioned before, there is issue detection. Yeah, so if the purchase order fails via the monitor, the issue can be detected and also checked in detail what is the log. And it's integrated into the relevant business application, especially providing posting services like creation of the purchase order or a cancellation of the goods movement. And it's also integrated into the existing end-to-end processes, yeah, like order to cash, procure to stock, and so on. Good. How does this run in the system? So just that you just have a high level, yeah, information how this is really working. Yeah. So what you can see here is more or less the business process from business application perspective. Yeah. You can see the supplier invoice has direct reference to the purchase order. Yeah. In our new framework, we have a full end-to-end business process. Yes, end-to-end. And if you check, for example, the details, you will find out that the end-to-end process definition is partially different to what in the business application is the process. For example, in the business application, the supplier invoice has a predecessor, the purchase order or the goods received in the transit plant. In our end-to-end process, of course, the predecessor of the supplier invoice is the customer invoice, the intercompany customer invoice. And therefore, if you check the process definition in details, there are differences. Good. So how does this work? Sales order 2 is created in the system, and the delivering plant is the US plant. The system will check this is an intercompany item, and second, advanced intercompany sales is active in the system. Sales order 2 will inform the framework. Please execute advanced intercompany sales former items 10 or 20. So calling the runtime, and the runtime will first check, it's advanced intercompany sales, and this is my process definition. What is the next step? It's the purchase order, and the purchase order is an automated step from runtime perspective, and therefore the runtime will trigger the creation of the purchase order. And purchase order will come back, created. The runtime will check what is the next automated step, and in this case, it's the sales order, and therefore the runtime will trigger the sales order creation. It's a pure orchestration framework. This means no business application is available in the runtime. No materials, no quantities, no price, no sales order, text, nothing. And only the document IDs and the process steps are available in the runtime. So the next step is creating the outbound delivery, and this is still being owned by the business application, and therefore the runtime will wait. And of course, we have a nice picture, because we know the documents, we know what is the predecessor, we know it's existing, and we know it should be created rather soon. And therefore, we have a nice monitor where we can illustrate the end-to-end process. Good. When the outbound delivery is created, and then the outbound delivery will inform the runtime. Here, I have been created, and I'm part of this end-to-end process. And also after creation of the outbound delivery, you can see the graph has been adjusted. The green box is there, it's the outbound delivery, and the 3 orange boxes, these are the expected step. It's the goods issue, it's the intercompany invoice, and it's the customer invoice. After the process has been executed to full extent, all boxes are green, and the end-to-end process is done. The complexity is much more higher than in reality, because here it's a nice 1-1-1-1 relationship. In reality, you can have several outbound deliveries, you have batch splits, and so on and so on. Good. So this is how this monitor looks like. I will show this later in the system. And as already said, it can also be used for issue detection. So the processing stage of the process is processed with errors. Then you check which end-to-end process. You go into the details. You can see the different documents that are part of this process. In this case, we have a sales order, and note outbound delivery and the purchase order creation failed. Then you go to the details and to the log of these process steps. And here you can see supplier invoice record is missing. Anja, ich habe keine Zeit. Du musst gehen. Ich kann runter. Nee. I'm sorry, just a second. No, you need to go to. Du musst zu deiner Mama gehen. So I'm sorry. Some side discussions. Good. So what are the current features? So first, we can do sell from stock items, normal item category TAN, and of course, including free of charge items with a 100% discount. Important, they have invoice relevance. We support batch with batch split, and also serial numbers. So this is what we support. More information, what kind of functionality we have then in detail supported, and where do we still have issues, can be found in these notes. Very important. As there are still some limitations, what is supported and what is not supported. Good. What are planned features? So what do we know that we still need to deliver? This is this multi-level intercompany sales. Sub-items, be it for bill of materials, be it for advanced ATP or free goods. Order-related customer invoicing, milestone billing or billing plans. important to know is whatever you do towards your external customer, yeah, the intercompany business is always on the inventory managed item. Yeah, so whatever you bill for your bill of materials toward the customer for the intercompany, it's the inventory managed item, and it's always delivery related. Yeah, so if you do milestone billing towards your external customer internally, yeah, it will be delivery related. Free of charge items without customer invoice relevance. WBS element integration is still missing. Make to order, be it with or without variant configurable materials. Scheduling agreements are not being supported. Customer consignment is not being supported. And also intercompany customer returns are not available in an advanced version. So with this, I would be done with my presentation. Yeah, I also have some useful links in my presentation. Now it would be time for questions. Yeah, maybe sometimes for question, and then after a while I will switch to a brief demo of the process.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Bernd, for keeping your foot on the gas. You really jumped through the slides, but as I see from the questions in the chat, apparently there is some competence here in the audience. So let's go through it. Can we use prepaid invoices and/or credit checks between selling and delivering companies?
Credit check is not available for the intercompany business. Yeah? Externally it's available, internally it's not available, and there's also currently no plan to make it available. Due to complexity, credit management is being triggered by outbound delivery, and as we have only one outbound delivery in place, it would be very difficult, yeah, and a lot of effort also to offer credit check for the intercompany business. What was the first question? Prepayments.
Yeah.
Prepayments we would not support, as this is order-related customer invoicing. As said, this is in the end, the intercompany business is independent, whatever you do towards your customer. Yeah? So I would assume when we offer order-related customer invoicing, and this is not, from business perspective, it's not complex. It's only that we have not integrated it in the sales order tool. Yeah? So it has not been developed. Yeah? But the intercompany business, it's independent. Yeah, if you run order-related customer invoices or delivery-related customer invoicing.
Okay, thank you, Bernd. Next question. Apparently, in some SAP presentations about the solution, a virtual plant was mentioned, that the transit plant would be a virtual plant. What are the benefits of using a virtual plant instead of a physical plant for the transit plant?
So in our first solution, the purchase order 3 has not been marked as a drop shipment purchase order. And therefore, the purchase order 3 had impact to ATP and MRP. And therefore, our first solutions we have shipped here, it needed to be a virtual plant. Yeah, as said, PO3 would have destroyed your ATP quantities. Yeah. With the delivery 2208, now the purchase order item is marked as a drop shipment. Yeah, and thereby the purchase order 3 has no impact anymore on ATP and MRP, and therefore you can use also a real plant, but yeah, we post to storage location. Yeah, and directly after storage location posting, we post into valuated stock in transit outbound. Yeah, and therefore there is a very small time, yeah, limited time where you have storage location posting in the system. Yeah, so there is still a risk of failed ATP result. Why you should, so if you use only one plant, so if you use a physical plant as also your transit plant, and then from valuation perspective, there's only one value. Yeah, so you melt the values, yeah, that you do in normal procure to stock. Yeah, you melt this when you have the transit plant, the same plant used for advanced intercompany sales. Yeah, so from value perspective, you do melting in the transit plant, and this could hinder you to use only one plant.
Very good. Next question. Incoterms and freight costs booking. Can you please elaborate on that? Is TM required, or are there any functionalities available without TM?
So the integration with TM, yeah, is exclusive. So first, of course, if you want to have freight cost assignment to the right company, of course, you need TM, because TM is the basis for freight cost postings depending on transportation legs. Yeah. So if it's about about the inventory management posting from valuated stock in transit to the next valuated stock in transit. This is only, the basis is only the transfer of control dates. Yeah, and how you fill the transfer of control dates, this is your decision. Yeah, we offer a body, and in this body you can have your own rules. Yeah, to set the transfer of control dates. And if you have not TM connected, yeah, and then of course TM can't write it, but you can do it on yourself. And also the POD. Yeah, so if you receive the POD from your customer, you can use the same. You can use the same body now to set the transfer of control dates, actual transfer of control dates, and then based on the actual transfer of control dates, our framework, orchestrational framework will trigger the goods movements. What we don't offer, yeah, we have no integration from customizing perspective to old S2 SD root functionality, yeah, because also the root has some lags and these kind of things, but this is for us not the future if you're really in the transportation management world. Yeah, if you really want to use the information of transportation lags, then of course TM needs to be in place. If you only want to trigger the goods movement, yeah, and then of course we don't offer any Incoterms functionality, and then you need to do it your own via body implementation.
Thank you. Then we have a question about revenue recognition. Is the solution replacing RA from a cost of goods sold posting perspective, from an IFRS 15 perspective?
That's something I can't answer, yeah, because I don't know if now event-based revenue recognition is a successor of RA, yeah. And what we have done, yeah, we have integrated event-based revenue recognition in a very solid manner with advanced intercompany sales. Yeah. We have not done any implementation effort, at least not to my knowledge, with RA. Yeah, and RA is offline, yeah, so you do the RA postings after fact, and this is at least not what I know that is our focus for revenue recognition. But this is something that would need to be discussed with the RA experts and revenue accounting experts.
Thank you. Next question, I think that has been answered. It is about the availability of scheduling agreements, both on the purchasing as well as on the sales side.
Yeah,
so I think we heard.
One word I can say, yeah. So we have one sales order, one purchase order, one sales order, yeah. And now you receive a scheduling agreement from your customer, yeah. And this is the external view, yeah. So this means the external sales order in Germany, yeah, will be a scheduling agreement. Now the question is, what is about the internal PO and what is about the internal sales order, yeah. And these are not scheduling agreements. Yeah, so our plan is, yeah, we have a complex scheduling agreement in Germany, yeah, so with the external view, and then we have a view to the scheduling information, yeah, and we have an extract that will be transferred into confirmed quantities, yeah, and only confirmed quantities will be transferred to the purchase order 3 and sales order 4 as scheduling information. Yeah, so scheduling information is available in sense of confirmed quantities or expected confirmed quantities, and it's not that a scheduling agreement as an object, yeah, is transferred.
Okay, thanks for the details. I would continue with one other question. Can we also use the same process for a third party for cost of goods sold posting?
Yeah, third party, I would assume these are the classical Dropshipment scenario, TAS, yeah, Streckengeschäft. Advanced intercompany sales is designed for advanced intercompany sales. Yeah, this means the selling company has access to a delivering plant. It's doing the reservation. It's the basis for the outbound delivery and much more that is directly fixed. Yeah. And from this perspective, yeah, it's a sell from stock scenario. Yeah, so the selling company has access to the stock and will do the necessary measure that it's delivered. Yeah, and on the top, in the background, we do the commercial thing that from commercial FI tax perspective, everything is okay. So logistically, it's a sell from stock. Tax perspective, it's a drop shipment scenario. If you run drop shipment scenarios, yeah, advanced intercompany sales can't be used. Of course, what we have created, yeah, can be the basis for future developments. But in the moment, a drop shipment scenario can't be supported. And also this means currently there is no drop shipment scenarios available with valuated stock in transit in the selling company.
Okay. One more question. Do you know when the planned features could be available? I did not find anything in Roadmap Explorer.
Yeah, due to portfolio management, where we still want to be agile, yeah, we can't commit on long-term things, yeah. So we have started already with multi-level discussions, yeah, and we have concepts, and we are working on it, yeah. But it's clear, yeah, for sure it won't be delivered with 2023. Yeah, so this is clear, multi-level, there's no chance that this can be delivered. It's much too complex and the impact is really big. Yeah. What we have started now is, or what we will start, and this is something what we try, yeah, but due to agile development, yeah, there is no commitment that it will be delivered, is sales bombs, yeah, so that sub items, yeah, can run in advance in a company sales version. This is the first thing we want to deliver, and this also would include free of charge items without invoice relevance.
Thank you. So then, final question. I'm not sure how it applies to our context. The question is, when will make-to-order scenarios with variant configuration be available in on-prem?
Yeah, more or less the same answer here. So we have started already on concepts, and we do some proof points now if this is really valid and can be done. We have started with make-to-order as a first scenario. And also here, it's clear it won't be in 2023. If it can be delivered, and what is a realistic delivery date, it's too much in the future that we can really commit. Yeah. Said we are in an agile environment, and we have started on concepts, and that is what I can state.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Maybe then
that was the end of the question. So
okay.
A couple of minutes left.
Then I will do a brief presentation. Yeah. So let me hope that I didn't lose any. Okay, create sales order. So normal order type, OR. Unfortunately, the direction is different. So selling organization is US, and it's delivered from Germany. Yeah. Normal sold to party, external sold to party. Customer reference. And I do an example with only one material. So now I think you are aware, so this is a sales order, and the delivering plant is still the intercompany plant. Yeah? And therefore I want to ship it from Germany. Yeah? I said this is a sales order in US. Now it's shipped from 7010. I change it to 1010. Yeah? What you can see then, if I press return, in this moment, the system will check, oh, it's an intercompany plant, advanced intercompany sales is active, and therefore I need a transit plant. Yeah. So, and now you have seen a new field appeared. It's called Transit Plant 1710. Yeah. And this is also the sign that this is advanced intercompany sales. So now I save it. And let me, oh yeah, okay, I need to. Let me go to the monitor. So this is the monitor. Here you can search for all documents that are 7.4, yeah, that are part of the process. So this is the leading, this is the new object, this is the sales order I've just created. And here you can already see the purchase order has been created in the background. Yeah, you could also now go to the purchase order and display the purchase order. And also this in the company sales order has been created. Yeah. Good. So, and also what you already is available is the next process step. This is the creation of the outbound delivery. So let me go to the creation of the outbound delivery, sales increment deliver. Okay, so now I'm in the delivery. Yeah, so keep it simple. So I will do picking 3 pieces, and I save the delivery. Yeah, so now picking, packing, everything can be done. And so everything is done, and therefore, let me go to the monitor that you also can see what has been done. Oh, I need to move this. So I press the button reload, and here you can already find the outbound delivery. Yeah, and the next steps, yeah, are the intercompany customer invoice, the customer invoice, and the goods issue. Yeah, and yeah, and now I will post the goods issue. Going back to the monitor, to reload, and now you will find the material movement. Yeah. So this is the physical. So from storage location to valuated stock in transit, and based on the default of the transit date, you already can see that the goods movement from valuated stock in transit of the delivering company to the selling company is scheduled for 7th of December. As I don't want to wait that long, I will now enter the outbound delivery. I go to the header shipment, and there you have the planned date. Yeah, so this is when it would be done, yeah, posted. But now I say, okay, today is the 5th of December. Yeah, so I know actual date has already happened in the company date. So I save it. Going back to the monitor, I reload, and there you can find even more postings. Yeah, as briefly already mentioned, yeah, we go from the valued. So first, it's the goods issue from the valuated stock in transit in the delivering company. Then we have a goods receipt in the selling company. Actually, it goes to the storage location, and then from the storage location, we have the next movement into the outbound valuated stock in transit. Yeah, we still need storage location posting due to limited supplier invoice valuation functionality. Yeah, it's an artificial step, but due to complexity and effort, yeah, we have decided that we still go via storage location postings. Good. So this was the internal transfer of control. Let's assume the external transfer of control to the customer in Hamburg has already happened. Yeah. So also let's put in today and save it. And with this, yeah, we also post the, let's reload, we post the goods issue from the valuated stock in transit in the selling company. You can also show it as a graph, yeah, and here you can see all the goods movement postings. What is still open is the customer invoice and in the company customer invoice. And after the intercompany customer invoice, we would expect that automatically the supplier invoice has been created by the system. So let's go for it. So I take the delivery number, VF01, create billing document, yeah, put in the delivery number. You can see this is still F2, normal invoice type that is used for external billing. And I save it. Going back to the overview. And now the customer invoice has been created. So same for the intercompany invoice. It's IV2, yeah, and this is also, there's the need to have a separate invoice type. So you can't use IV. Yeah, this is due different pricing. In IV2, we use normal condition types, and IV2, we use normal condition types. In our classic intercompany sales, yeah, IT guys of you know you use here specific intercompany condition types. In futures, in the company business with advanced intercompany sales is based on normal condition types. All condition types being marked as intercompany are not used anymore. Good. So, and what would we expect? First, we would expect that in the company, what did I save? I didn't save, yeah. So first I need to save. So first we would expect that IV2 has been created. And second, we would expect that also the supply invoice has been created. Yeah. And with this, we are at the end of the process. Yeah, and as you can see, all additional steps have been automated by us. Yeah, and this even includes the supplier invoice that now nicely is being created, of course, without IDOC technology. It's created based on normal function module calls, how you should work within one system. Good. With this, I would be done with my demo live in the system. So. Are there more questions? We still have 9 minutes to go.
So in the chat, we currently don't. So I would say let's count to 17.5 and see if any other questions pop up in the meantime. Thank you for the thumbs up.
Good. Then I think who would close the call?
Well, I'd say let's end it back in the opposite. Oh, one more question. Sorry. Is it possible to generate notifications for users once something needs to be done, like situation handling?
In the current version, not. Yeah. So this generic framework, of course, is a good basis, yeah, to trigger user information or even program execution automatically based on the received error. So the error is not just the text, of course, yeah, it's an error ID. And if you check future releases of our value chain monitoring framework, of course, it would be great for the customers, yeah, that they can inform users via workflow, or if master data is missing, even a program is automatically started that creates the also customer program is started that creates the necessary master data, but it's not there. Yeah, so our focus of the first release that we have delivered of value chain monitoring framework was high quality in the runtime. Yeah, so that the documents can be created, that if there is an issue and so on. So there was a lot of effort behind, and we still have, if you check our restrictions and our information, then you will find that not everything is running 100% perfectly. Yeah, so you, for example, you are not allowed to change to manually change the supplier invoice. Yeah, so you should cancel or you can cancel it, and then you should re-trigger the creation of the intercompany customer invoice. If not, there can be some inconsistencies between the business application and the framework. Yeah. So coming back, yeah. So in the moment, the user is not informed.
When can we expect the new customizing manual? So probably meaning documentation in general.
We have configuration guides available, 2 notes, yeah, that describe how to set up advanced intercompany sales and how to set up advanced intercompany stock transfer on 0 customizing based systems. Yeah, we have partially delivered 0 customizing. Yeah, for example, the purchase order type is available as 0 customizing, and we closed the 0 customizing gap, yeah, with the next feature delivery. This is our plan. Nevertheless, everything is described in the setup guide that needs to be done to have the processes running. Of course, it's standard. Yeah, so it's not described in detail what you need to do to cover your set OR order type and your very many different item categories you have in place. But if you run the same that you have seen, yeah, now in my example, yeah, OR, TAN, and then the purchase order type is, I can't remember, yeah, ICSO or something like this, yeah. And this has been described in detail, yeah. What is the demand towards master data? This has been described in detail in a configuration guide. You will find the link to the configuration guide in the information notes. Okay,
thank you. Then here's a question that baffles me a little bit, because I think that was basically the whole call was about it. What's the difference with normal intercompany sales versus advanced intercompany sales?
Yeah, there's a lot of, I think it's really that there's a lot of downside in the classic intercompany sales. Yeah, no value-added stock in transit, no material ledger postings, no product costing. You have a sequence in invoicing, only one COP element, and there's a huge list of more. Yeah, not fully supported for consolidation. Yeah, the cost Kostenschichtung now. I don't know, the cost split. Yeah, is not fully available and everything. If you check the future, the classic intercompany sales has no potential for for real-time consolidation. Maybe you have heard of universal parallel accounting. The old process is not enabled for universal parallel accounting, and so on. So if you want to have full variety of FI functionality, yeah, in the system in future, yeah, advanced intercompany sales will be a prerequisite for many things. Yeah, for example, event-based revenue recognition, yeah, is not enabled for, it can't be enabled for the old classic intercompany sales process. Yeah, there's too many things are missing everywhere, yeah, in the old process, and therefore I think it makes also no sense to try to somehow to get classic intercompany sales on a level where almost everything in FI can be supported.
Okay. Now I'd say let's ring the bell. Bernd, thank you very much. Tons of information, very deep information. And with that, Lena, back to you.
Right. Thank you both basically for your time, Bernd, for all the information. I realized in between that our call started 1.5 minutes later than I thought. So that's now a welcome from my side, not a goodbye from my side, so to say. If you watch the recording, which is directly available under the very same link that you're joining us at the moment, it starts with Michael's introduction, not with mine. So Michael, your face. There was a little bit of a delay from Zoom to YouTube, but that should be fine. It was just me introducing Bernd, which Michael also did. So we're all good here, and you didn't miss anything about the actual content that got shared here in our call today by Bernd. So Bernd, thank you for your presentation and your demo. Michael, thank you for handling the Q&A. And with that being said, I hope you both be back next year, then 2023. Thank you everyone for your time and your interest in this topic. And I'll see you in one of our next upcoming SAP community calls.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.